Hey guys, it's Abigail. So I'm filming this a couple of days after a really cool day for people who have a learning disability like mine. It was on April 4th. It is Auditory Processing Disorder Awareness Day. It is a very long name. It's a day where we try to bring awareness to a silent disability that only about 5% of school-age children have, and even less adults. Nobody really knows the cause of it. But it is believed to be linked with like premature birth, head trauma, having lots of ear infections. So you usually see that kind of, at least some of those symptoms, but then again, if you have those symptoms, but that's usually associated with having those at a very young age. It's often confused with ADHD because we get easily distracted, among other things, but it's not the same thing. It really isn't. As auditory processing disorder is throughout the central nervous system, hence why the whole technical name is central auditory processing disorder, because it's in the central nervous system. Today I'm going to be telling you guys about my experiences and how I've come to learn to cope with auditory processing disorder. We were told when I was pretty young by my doctor that I might have auditory processing disorder. We found this out after I did a test where they ran a tuning fork and they told me, when you stop hearing it, tell us. Maybe about 5 minutes went by and everyone else couldn't hear it anymore, but I could still. And my doctor said, I think she may have auditory processing disorder. Unfortunately, though, they can't diagnose until you're around 7 or 8, or whenever your ears mature. Which leads me to the first time I ever really got tested for auditory processing disorder. In the 3rd grade, maybe, about the time when your ears are mature. They do test your hearing beforehand, so they knew I had pretty good hearing, just minor hearing loss from having multiple sets of tubes. So I go in this giant soundproof room all alone. I can see the audiologist in the room right next door. And I pass it. They saw nothing on the test on if I did have it, so they said I did not have it. But we knew that wasn't the case. So, zoom to when I was 11. I'd been in 7th grade. It was December. I remember it distinctly. It was December 23rd. I go through the whole hearing testing thing again. I tell them about my school life. I tell them how much I hate math. And I go into the test. I do the entire test. They test my hearing. I remember being told maybe the next day. My parents sat me down. No, I don't remember the doctor telling me anything, mostly because I was in a massage chair, but my parents sat me down and they told me I had auditory processing disorder and I had 3 of the 4 kinds, which is pretty severe. Pretty severe auditory processing disorder. Most people who have auditory processing disorder will live with it for the rest of their lives. There's no medication for it. There's therapies and other things that can help, but you're with it for the rest of your life. So here I am, I'm almost 16, so about 5 years later. I've so far come up with multiple strategies that I can use that have helped me kind of cope. First one is I try to ask questions. I really don't like to, but I know if I'm confused about something, I need to ask, especially if I'm in a loud environment. Number 2, I've started learning ASL to help in situations where I know I'm not going to do well. Luckily, my parents can hear just fine. So I usually talk while I sign, and my mom will try to sign. Number 3, so far, I have an ear filter, which, this little purple thing from, where I did testing once again to get it. It kind of slows down that reaction. I've had it for about a year. It's helped me a lot. And it's really interesting how I can take it out and I'll notice a huge difference. Like, if I take it out, I'm hearing everything again. Meanwhile, with this, I don't hear it. Some of the techniques that other people use are they use a FM system, which means that the teacher wears a microphone and they have a system connected to so that the sound goes directly to them. I found when I used it that it did not help me because my school system, since we had to use a school system, if you were to buy a personal FM system, they cost so much. I cannot even believe. But there was so much static and it was a really old system. So it just made things 10 times worse for me. Other people found that just using different things just helped them a bit more. A lot of people find that the filter does help, but not everyone uses the filter. Not everyone can afford to fly out to the one place that does it. We had to fly out to Fort Collins, Colorado, to Able Kids, and we had to do all of the testing again. Auditory processing disorder is really weird in some cases. I'm not alone in this crazy world that I go through. Auditory processing disorder, not many people actually know about what it is and how does it affect you. A lot of times I have to just say my ears can hear you but my brain does not, or it's like having dyslexia but it's all auditory. I wanted to make this video to help raise awareness and to kind of share my experiences with it. I've been living with it my entire life. I've only had my filter, which has helped so much in the past year. I really just wanted to help raise awareness, and I hope whoever is watching this who may have just been recently diagnosed or just looking for help with their recent diagnosis, or they've just run out of ideas to get help. I hope you found this helpful. And yeah, this is really cool to me. So, I'll see you guys later. Bye!